Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Tuesday, October 8th, 2013. All right, for scheduled market-affecting announcements, international trade at 8:30 this morning. And that is about it. Pretty quiet day today. However, earnings season is about to start very, very soon. Let's take a look at what happened overseas. The Asian markets were up a pretty healthy percentage here. I remember our bogey is 0.5%, so if it's up more than that, that's pretty significant. Anything over 1.5% is very significant. If we look at Europe, currently solidly on the bearish side, with of course many ties to the US. And now you can see what's happening here with the whole government shutdown, and who's blaming who? Well, everybody just spends way too much. I find this to be, at least it doesn't matter which party. Let me complete that thought. Doesn't matter which party, Republicans or Democrats, or at least the old GOP anyway, the moderate GOP or the progressive GOP or whatever you want to call them, they all like to get elected and therefore like to spend money. So there's just too much money involved in the whole politics arena, and I'm afraid it's probably too late to do anything about it, but it needs to be removed in order to make it pure again. But I find this to be pretty interesting. Buffett's crisis haul reaches $10 billion. Warren Buffett has made at least $10 billion by investing in companies during the financial crisis. Makes you wonder how he was able to do that. Did he know something, or does he have so much influence because of all of his money that he can actually cause some of these things to happen? Okay, well, I don't know. I really don't know. And it would be interesting to find out. Okay, let's jump over and take a look at what is happening here in the U.S. as far as the futures are concerned. We are, as I heard somebody say once, looking for direction. Looking pretty darn flat right about now. And we have gold at 321 or 1322, which is moving away from that 1300 floor that it was playing around with, and oil is at 103.44, but gas continues to drop, at least around here. It's down to about 3.15 a gallon. You can find it now, so that's pretty interesting. And earnings season is starting, so I want to just jump over here to Alcoa. So we have, actually, today, Alcoa's earnings. So this is the kickoff to the earnings season. It makes sense, right? Alcoa, AA, AAA, everything, so you can be the first one in the old-fashioned phone book. Now nobody cares anymore. So all these companies that put AAA, so-and-so, whatnot, tire shop, and all this kind of stuff, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Now people just search on tire shops. No more phone books. I can't believe that they just keep shipping those things out. Anyway, Alcoa's earnings are today, and they're not looking real hot, are they? Not looking very good at all. So this is going to set the pace. They have a 6-cent estimate, and then there's revenue and there's forecasts and all that other kind of stuff that are tied into it that have an effect on earnings. Now you can go over here to Market Watch, And let's see, there is a way to, oh, calendar, here we go, calendar, yes, 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 okay. So we can take a look at this calendar here for October and pick out what you want to watch here. Let's see. Hang on a second. Alright, here we go. We just go over here and pick out what you want to watch. You want to watch a public and a certain industry, or where is everything? Let's see here. Company profile, Dow Jones, industrial average, futures, indices, NASDAQ 100, New York Stock Exchange. It would be nice if you could pick all stocks, but you know what's going to happen if you do that. You're going to be kind of overwhelmed. So that's probably not a good idea. But if you were to just, you wanted to take a look at a certain industry, oops, what happened here? Public, industry, energy, select all energy, and you'll get all the earnings for all the energy companies. As an example here. I don't use this very much, which is why I was pretty clumsy with that. I'm already pretty well into this show here for today anyway. I want to let you know what I did yesterday. Let me look at my notes here. We have Goldman that we entered into. We had the alert trigger yesterday pretty much right away at the market open with this gap down here. Well, it wasn't a gap down, it actually was a gap up, and then it triggered a little bit later. So I did enter into a 160, and I picked the normal regular monthly expiration in order to get far enough away. So that's going to carry me into their earnings, but I'll just make sure that I get out before that. Their earnings is on the 17th, and expiration is on the 18th, so we should be pretty good there. Also entered into Tesla with a bull put, and we got our trigger fired off yesterday morning. Most of these I did around 11:30 or so in the morning. Remember, never trade before 10 unless you're chasing something. You know what I mean? I don't say never. I very rarely trade before 10. I want to make sure that there's going to be a continuation, or sometimes even there's a pullback or a surge during the day that makes your trade a little bit better depending on which side you're taking, the bullish or bearish side. So anyway, on this one, I jumped in here at around 11:30, 12 o'clock, somewhere around in these candles here. So Tesla has no earnings coming up at all, and then Google, a bear call on Google, and again right around noon, 11:30, 12:05, somewhere around there, I jumped in on these trades. So that's what I did yesterday. And so how are we doing? CF, which is a bull put, is struggling against this market. We're up a little bit today, so maybe it'll move up. Google and Goldman don't care what the market's doing. They're tanking. LinkedIn is the Iron Condor, and we can take a look at how that one looks here. Oops. Stretch that out and drag it over. Okay, so our expiration on this is a normal October expiration, so we change this probability to here, and this is where our probability is. We're kind of on the lower end of this, maybe we can get somewhat of a positive day out of this. We can take a look at a chart and see what we're looking at here. Let's squish it down a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of an unusual move there on LinkedIn. Started down for the day and never looked back. Could be in trouble on that. Of course, we're coming down here and we may get a hookup. And there's Tesla and then Celgene. I'm really glad that I didn't bail on that calendar, because now we're back up there. Let's take a look at what it looks like here. So this is normal October expiration, 10/19 up here for the probability date, and this is where there's a good probability in this highlighted area here where price is going to end up. And time is what separates the white line, which is the current price, from the red line, which is the projected price at expiration. So the closer we get to expiration, the more the white line moves, or better yet, the more IV that ends up into the trade, the more everything gets pumped up. So we're looking for a movement down, which normally increases IV, and make a little bit more money here. I just may set a target at, say, like $200 to get out of this trade. So let's do that for today. I'll just highlight this one and then shift left click that one, right click and say create closing order. And I have to look up to see what I paid for this thing. Hang on, I'm going to look it up. Okay, here it is right here. I go to monetary account statement and I have Celgene as my symbol, went back 30 days, and there's the calendar that I paid $2.65 for. So I go back down here and I do have my order in here. So $2.65, and I have two positions, so I need to make 100 on this. So I would say $3.65, but let's say $3.70 to make sure all our commissions and everything get covered. And that's how we do it. Confirm and send. Okay. So we now have a limit order in on Celgene to get out at the 370 level. Sell 2 calendar, Celgene 100, at 370 with a limit order. All right, so we're all locked, cocked, and ready to rock on that baby. Alrighty, let's get into the meat of today with our scan. Let's go back to both accounts here, and we can close this down and go to the A+. Okay, so first off is Apple. Go back to auto scale. Alright, Apple wiggling around. Would you believe ever doing an iron condor on Apple? When are their earnings? Way out here at the end of October. So we have some time to play around with Apple, and they may just flatten out on the way over to their earnings. An iron condor on Apple? Is that a possibility, do you think? Let's look at where we would be. So if we wanted to do something around 20, and I would want to make sure that I have plenty of wiggle room, we would be at 510, and probably want to go a little bit lower on my delta on the put side. So that's good. We'd get collect about 60 cents on each side, and it would look like this. Here's our probability for the 19th, and it pretty much falls in there. So that has possibilities. Let's take a look on the chart. 510 and 465. Alright, so 465 is down here and 510 is up here. Boy, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? That really does look kind of good. I'll make a note of that. Alright, otherwise, no directional play at this time. Amazon. Amazon is having a really hard time here. I really do think that they have hit their... I'm pretty sure that this is going to be acting as pretty strong resistance, and then we have a big bear flag here, and looks like we might be having another bear flag forming, and we just rolled over on our moving average. So let's do this. I'm going to activate this drawing, slip it up to here, and wait to see if a trade develops, or maybe chase something here, or maybe just get in really early. We have a PPS down. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good here. Oh, this is looking very good. We're down over here. We're hooking down on the stochastic. We just hooked down on the short-term MACD. And here on the MACD, we're below zero on the short term and heading down on the moving average. And stochastic, which is really more of our entry criteria, just did a nice hook down, and our 50 MA rolled over, and our 9 MA SMA, or EMA, I'm sorry. It's been so long since I looked at that thing. It's the 9 EMA, exponential. This is the 50 MA, which is a just a simple moving average. Moving down there. All right, well, you know, if you wanted to jump in early on this for Amazon, I'm looking for this week's expiration. Oops. We have 3 days left. You could take one at 3:15, which would be right here. I mean, you're betting that it's going to continue down, right? Have anything happening this morning? Pretty much just a hair above the close. But we have it's only 200 shares, so it's really no way to tell anything there. That has possibilities. All right, so Baidu, which was doing pretty good, it seems to be running out of steam here too, although on the weekly it's still showing some pretty good strength. So we're going to be looking for a hook here, and a hook at the 45 is acceptable for me and for the plan. So we'll watch for that one. Celgene actually looks like as though it may be, hopefully, well, no, we're not quite down enough here. So I don't see anything in there at this time. CF is looking pretty strong. I don't think that there's any pre-market trading ever on CF. We're in on that, so we're not going to do anything there. Chipotle looking very strong. Has earnings coming up. No entries there. Google, we're in on Google. Just quickly look at that one again. Hopefully we weren't too late. getting in after this hook down. We should have gotten in on Friday, but we didn't. So we waited till today, but most of the time that works out just fine. Goldman definitely is not looking real good. We got in, we called this a hook here, probably was right at 45. And yeah, or 55 I should say, on the bearish side. LinkedIn, of course we have our iron condor on this one, and we're hoping that we get a hook up, although looking over at the weekly, things are looking pretty bearish over there. MasterCard, I might put an alert on that for today. MasterCard definitely is, it and Visa are definitely rolling over. They had their dividend yesterday, so, well, they didn't actually issue the dividend, it was the day of record. Netflix, moving on down into our target area. Need to wait for that one to mature a little bit. Priceline also moving down into our target area. Need to wait for that one to mature. Tesla, we are in on Tesla. So nothing there. And Visa, probably nothing there either. Like MasterCard, man, it looks almost exactly the same. So we would be looking for, we just had the moving average roll over here. So we're looking to go with a bear call on this whenever it matures enough. Okay, well, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.